The president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, on Wednesday set up a 15-man ad hoc committee to iron out the senators' welfare for the National Assembly's management. Now, the committee that Senator Issa Jibrin heads comprises members from the 6 geopolitical zones. The Senate president said the committee is to work with his Senate clerk, Chinedu Akubweze, to ensure these seats and offices are allocated to all senators, and that the committee has 2 weeks to submit its report. In the meantime, the Senate has adjourned plenary to Tuesday, July 4.
I'd like to set up a committee to look into the welfare of the members. And of course, it's a normal practice that some people have to sit back, take stock of the seats, and then locate the seats so that next time when we are coming here, you will speak from your seat. And you are expected to speak from your seat. So you can have your permanent sitting positions. And then you are also expected to move into your offices. Right now, you don't have those offices. So,
well, the 10th National Assembly is now in full motion and it is ready to do the job Nigerians elected them to do. Perhaps that will be when they come back from that tiny little break. Now, the lawmakers say there will not be a rubber stamp assembly and will work hand in gloves with the executive arm of government. Well, for more on the 10th Assembly, I'm joined in the studio by the senator representing Kwara Central Senator District, Saliu Mustapha. Good to see you. And congratulations again.
Thank you.
So the business seemed to have started already. But again, first, let's start off by letting us in on how you felt yesterday when your party's choice candidate emerged.
Well, basically, good evening, viewers. Yesterday was a historic day, especially for those of us who are first-time senators. We prayed and worked very hard to come out of that kind of victory you saw. Well, basically, we've always had in our permutation that the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, will win with a margin of about 60 to 65. And as God will have it, we came out with a margin of 63. So it was not too far from what we've always, in our strategic permutation. But even if you are confident of winning in an election of this kind of nature, where you are not sure of who is with you and who is not with you to an extent, it was also a nightmare to an extent. Every minute we hear this person has crossed to the other side. But of course, we knew we had some constant, supporters and brothers who actually believed in the capacity and the leadership, exemplary leadership of Godswill Akpabio already exemplified when he was a governor. That's why a lot of people call him uncommon transformer, uncommon governor. So for those of us who have known him for some years now, and we've admired his style, we stood very firm. But all this said and done, the most important thing now, he has emerged as the president of the 10th Senate, and in his acceptance speech, he has not only called for a one-family approach, he has embraced both the losers that, look, it's a win-win for all of us, it's a win for democracy. And he has urged that we should approach everything with the spirit of legislators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. There is no more, I am a legislator from XYZ party, or I'm from this zone, or I'm from, no. He has appealed to us that we should all look at this as a Nigerian project. And that is also one of the things we have cued in from the president now. the commander-in-chief. If you watch out, he has always said everybody should come and partner with him to do this project, Nigeria.
We'll come back to the president pretty much later now. I'd like to jump on the word you said uncommon governor. Is Nigeria, likely to see uncommon bills, uncommon, transformation from the National Assembly? Because the key thing here is what you highlighted. These are representatives of the Nigerian people. And how can we, the people, actually see that this assembly is truly for them?
Well, basically, as legislators who are going to be representing the various constituents that forms the federation or the federating unit, we are here first and foremost to make laws and promote and do oversight functions that will assist in making sure the executive delivers on its goals and mandates, and also see that we bring the people's needs and wants down to the floor to make sure such demands are, in one way or the other, fulfilled. I can assure you that this 10th Senate will deliver to the expectation of the people, of the Nigerian people, in an uncommon way. Because when you have the leader of a Senate that has done it before, he will inspire a whole lot of the Senate members too, to also make sure they also deliver in their various areas of oversight or responsibilities so assigned to them.
Now let me narrow it down to you, Saliu Mustapha, Kwara Central and a Nigerian first-time senator. What are the pressing things, the pressing demands you think that Nigerians will need to work hand in hand with the president to ensuring that in the next few weeks, the pain and the pangs specifically that some Nigerians are going through with the subsidy stoppage would be assuaged?
Well, basically, you see, when APC came on board on its campaign train, we had a political solution to win an election, and we won. And that was why some of us that believed in the Akpabio's Senate presidency was to see that we give a balance to the tiers of government. And that was why we went for an Akpabio who is from South-South and a Christian. After winning the election, APC needed to balance and secure the country. And the primary aim of government is to provide security of lives and property. When you have that, that is when people can now thrive to work or to even contribute their quota to the growth and economy of the country. And I think, as God will have it, the Ashiwaju's or the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency is already assuring us of that. Now, when you come to the second leg, we start looking at policies, start looking at how to block leakages and bring in reforms that would help in the social welfare of the people and for the economy to grow. And that is why you can see one of the first things the president has done was the subsidy removal. We as legislators, what we can only do is to make sure we collaborate, support, to see that the needed palliatives that will help the people to be able to, manage this sudden shock, because it's a sudden shock to so many Nigerians that things will take a drastic change or turnaround. Definitely you will experience some inflation, some level of hardship. So we as legislators, the most important thing is we will look at areas where we can cushion, support the executive in seeing that
And quickly, talking about being supportive of the executive, sorry to cut you there because I'm trying to see how much we can pack up on this, later time. You said leakages, which is very important here, and Nigerians, your constituents alike, they're also very interested in leakages. Personally, as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, what do you think can be done to help block these leakages?
Well, basically, I know the government will frown at where you have ghost workers, where you have overinflated contracts. From the body language of the administration, I know they will not tolerate this. And these are areas that sometimes are used as conduit pipe for siphoning or for looting public treasury. I'm sure this administration will frown at it from the body language already. And we as legislators in our oversight function, we will also make sure we take a proper audit of agencies or government parastatals or MDAs that as time goes on.
That's a good point. But again, how do you feel when some Nigerians say to you, Senator Mustapha, I've heard this before, knowing full well that we're not talking about a new party. So how do you give people renewed hope?
Well, like you know, our president is enjoying the mantra of renewed hope. Same thing the legislators are also going to be having. This time around, you are going to have a rebranded, or we're rebranding the image of the legislators. And we can only do this from our actions. That's why today, the Senate President said we'll be sitting by 10, and he led by example. He was there by 10 on the dot. So this time around, it will not be business as usual. In fact, there was something he proposed to the floor or to the members today, that he will want to see a robust debate from and within the senators. And by so promoting, so many of us that are first-time senators, to make sure we have the needed and requisite legislative knowledge. And he has also promised that from time to time, we will have opportunity to attend short courses so that in our oversight function or in our responsibilities or roles, we are not shortchanged by those who are supposed to audit or be able to monitor in a way. So I can assure you the parliament this time around will not be business as usual. I'm not condemning the past parliament. They've done their best, but we're promising that we'll do better.
Certainly, this is not about condemnation. Nigerians are looking for something quite different. If Nigerians are looking towards your party and the leadership, they deserve better. Quickly, yesterday, in his speech, he spoke about natural resources, talking about the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. How does that resonate with you, knowing full well that in Nigeria, there are abundance of natural resources, but the only thing we seem to look at is crude oil?
Well, I can assure you that Nigerians are awake to that already, because there's no part of the country you go to now that you won't hear there's a new solid mineral that has been found. Today, everybody is running up and down, having the discovery of lithium in their backyard. And you know what lithium is now in the world. People are beginning to rely a lot on lithium as a source of energy, either through the lithium batteries or even the electric cars and also. And so you have other resources. Is it gold? Is it tantalite? Now the most important thing now is for us to now start making laws that will protect, one, the nation, the indigenes of certain areas. You see, what people don't understand is the fastest way to development of any country or any economy is through mining. When you have mining activities in any area, it brings in commerce, it brings in infrastructure, employment, and even the small day-to-day trading, which is part of the commerce. And when you have mining activities, all this will happen. And when it happens, then there's some form of economic growth. But the most important thing now is we must be guided through the necessary laws that will make sure that the indigenes are not shortchanged.
And quickly here before we wrap up, now you spoke about the environment, the indigenes. Are you also looking to, tweaking the laws that will also give the states direct access to some of these natural resources?
You see, sometimes when people are not innovative, they expect a lot from the center. Any state or any state administrator who is waiting that until or it's only when certain laws are changed in his favor. Even a local government chairman can find some benefits from whatever the mining cadastre does with any miner in his state or in his locality. First and foremost, you have your laws as a state government, you have your state assembly. There are laws you can also enact that will not be, it will not, be in contrary to the federal law or the constitution, no. But there are laws you can enact such that will safeguard the indigenes. Like there are things you call degradation. You can't come and start mining in a place and you've not taken into cognizance the indigenes or the inhabitants of that place. Is it schools, hospitals, roads? There are some things you give back which in the corporate world you call the corporate social responsibility. Also in areas of mining, all these are there, but sometimes people don't look inward to see what they can benefit. All they think of is how much can we make, how much can come back to us.
It's a good thinking, and I'm sure your constituents, your governor, they're all watching. Don't you think, and this is our closing moment, states should be given some form of ownership, access to some of these resources in their domain?
Well, for now, I won't want to debate on that or make categorical statements on that. I believe we should, first and foremost, accept what has been offered or what the Constitution has, provided for us. We must be guided by that and then explore the opportunities therein. That's why I'm saying even the local government chairman can, on his own. Of course, we're not saying you should go and stop those who have gotten permit or licenses from the mining cadastre here. There are ways you can let them know there is what is called corporate social responsibility that in most cases the indigenes or the locals will enjoy.
I think it's a fine place for us to leave it, and I'd like for us to stretch this in the days to come. Senator Saliu Mustapha, many thanks for speaking with us.
Well, thank you for having me, and on a closing note, I will want to plead with Nigerians to please support both the executive, the legislative arm, and even the judiciary in some of their pronouncements that it must not be a winner takes all, or if I don't get it, then the other person is not good enough. We must collaborate at the junction we find ourselves now in this country. We must all put all hands on deck to make sure we move the country forward.
Thank you very much.